All right, welcome everybody to this episode of, well, it's not really a show yet, but this session with Glenn. In this video right here, we're going to talk about something that's really important if you want to be successful in life, but if you want to achieve your goals, right? We all want stuff. We all have objectives that we want to move toward that are going to have us become more happy, have more fulfillment, have more enjoyment. And that's, in my opinion, what I've learned from Glenn. That's the purpose of life. We're here to evolve. We're here to grow. We're not here to stagnate and just sit on the couch all day. And in this video right here, Glenn wanted to dive into something that really cripples most people, and something that I've seen, in myself in past years, and in a lot of people who, on my journey of getting better and going on this path of self-development, as you move up, you see more and more people fall away because they're not focused on growing, and they're self-sabotaging with behavior like depression, apathy. Then the number one skill set that they lack is having control over their thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And in this video right here, Glenn is going to dive into how you can eliminate the negative voice in your head that is self-sabotaging, causing you to self-sabotage, and is attributing to all of your anxiety, stress, and fear. So Glenn, if you want to take it away.
I will. Thank you, Dante. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our broadcast here in video. I want to give you some real value today on the insights of what we learn and what we teach in energy awareness training. For those of you who aren't familiar with this, energy awareness training is a complete methodology training method that identifies the hidden aspects of our lives. And it identifies the ability to see life in a new way energetically. And just take a quick moment to remind us that everything that we're dealing with in this world is energy. We're having an energy exchange right now. If you're on planet Earth, you're having an energy exchange when you work, when you go to school, when you go out on a date, when you're working out at the gym, etc. So our life, since we are fundamentally energetic beings, that means that we contain vast sums of energy inside us. And the power of my work and what we're going to be talking about today is the ability to move forward in your life and the ability to make changes. And isn't that what we all want? Many of us, and many of you who are looking at the video today, are students of personal development. And some of you are entrepreneurs, some of you are influencers, some of you just want to have a better life and are interested in any cutting edge tools or trainings or insights that can help you do that. And in energy awareness training, what we do is we recognize that you can make a powerful change in your life if you become energetically aware. That means being aware of all the energies that are around us. And if you're living in this planet, we're living in a sea of energies. And the energies are internal and the energies are external. And I teach in the training how to identify these energies, how to work with them, and to identify the stuff, the missing link to change. And the missing link to change is we're here and we want to be here. And we try the normal methods to move forward to here. And some people succeed, most people don't. And that's why there's a continuing, read the next self-help book, take the next course, take the next this. We're hungry for knowledge. I know that I was. And I know that I wanted to make changes in my life too. And I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to until I discovered the amazing world of energy, the energy medicine, energy psychology, energy perception, the ability to recognize that the fundamental key to getting where you want to be in life is the recognition, either consciously or unconsciously, of recognizing and being able to move energy. That's in yourself and in others. So we're going to be talking today about thought. And you may have heard some of my videos discussing this. I want to go in a little bit more detail about thoughts and how it works. Because you know what? I took a lot of courses. I graduated college. And there were no courses anywhere on the thought process. We use the thought process in our, in school and in work, but how does it work? And this is where energy awareness training gives great insight on what's happening to you. So before we go into that, let me just preface this, if you're new and you haven't heard me speak before, to understand that we are dealing with a multitude of energies, much of which we can't see. We can't see these energies. And when I'm talking about energies, I'm talking about our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our behaviors. Now, you can't see a thought, and you can't see an emotion, and you can't see a behavior beginning, but in all those things, you can recognize the outcome. You know that if you have a thought that doesn't feel good, it's going to result in a certain expression. If you all heard the basics that say think positive, right? Or don't think negative. And we know that there are certain directions that energy has. So what we're doing here is we're identifying energy, and we're going to link the thought process into how that energy works. So maybe you've heard me say that, energy is like an iceberg. 10% above the water you can see, 90% below the water you can't see. And it's what you can't see that has an effect on you, especially in the thought process. So we have a saying that says, that which we can see, we can control. That which we can't see controls us. And so much of the thoughts that manifest as energy are trying to control us. Thoughts trying to control you. What a novel concept. No one ever told me about that my thoughts are trying to control me. Well, no one ever taught me what thought was. You just kind of move with it, right? Well, understand this. Before we go into the thoughts, understand that of all the energies that are trying to influence, there's directions. There's two energies that are on top of the hundreds of energies that are around, and I call them a frequency. So you may have heard the quote by Nikola Tesla, one of the smartest and geniuses that lived in modern times, that said, if we want to really understand the mysteries and the secrets of life, we have to look at life and what happens in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So that means, if everything's energy, that means our bodies are energy, the air is energy, the table's energy, the computer's energy. What does that mean? Molecules in motion, okay, and energetic particles that are constantly moving and expanding. So understand that as we talk today, we're going to be talking from two aspects: an energy called high vibration energy, which is the energies that we like: happiness, joy, freedom, abundance, creativity, love, connection, all that good stuff. That's what I call a high vibration energy. Now, when we're in this energy, we don't think too much about it. When you're feeling happy and things are going your way and you feel connected to everybody, you're not going, is this high vibrational energy? No. You don't think about it because it's natural. That's the natural state that we were born into. But we also have to deal with another aspect, because we live in an energetic principles. We live in a world of duality. So if there's an up, right, there's a down. If there's a left, there's a right. If there's a good, there's a bad. There's a right, the wrong, etc. So the other energy that we have to deal with, and this is where the key reference to what we're going to be talking about today, is low vibration energy, which is there's an energy described as anxiety, as stress, as worry, as doubt, as fear, as depression. It's an energy that doesn't feel good, right? And this energy wants to pull us down. The high vibration energy wants to lift us up, wants to have us improve our lives, wants to have us be, have us do, have us have things that are beyond, to create our full potential. The low vibration energy wants to pull you down. Its agenda is to pull you down, to pull you out of the high vibration energy, which is feeling good, and pull you this way, which is not feeling good, which is feeling bad. Okay? So we've all had that experiences. We've all had the experiences of energies inside us. And again, the description of energy, whether it's human beings, whether it's the air, whether it's the table, whether it's a job, whatever we're dealing with in energy, and it's all energy, according to Albert Einstein, hey, it's all energy, that this energy is a power, it has a purpose, it has a frequency, and has a direction, and it gives off information. And this is the power of energy awareness training. You know, if you're looking for the cutting edge of, you know, human development and personal growth, this is it. And this is what I discovered, because when I discovered it, you know, all the years of being stuck and all the years of fighting the anxiety, the worry, the doubt, the pressure, that having this internal civil war was gone, and it cleared out. And we're going to be talking about that today in terms of thought. Okay, so just making the basics as we go on. High vibration energy wants to lift us up, wants us to have a great life, moving us up. Low vibration energy wants to block that. It wants to get in the way of the high vibration energy and pull you down and pull you into a place that doesn't feel good, or that ultimately is going to bring sorrow and suffering. Low vibration, high vibration, happiness, joy, and peace. Well, which one do we want? Well, of course we want the high vibration energy, yet so much of the time we have to deal with the low vibration energy. Why? Why do we got to deal with this? Where does it come from? What's it about? That's what we're going to be talking about today in today's video. Does that make sense, Dante?
Yeah, no, 100%. If you're watching this, the amazing thing about Glenn's work is that it's if you're watching this, you're either one of two people, okay? Number one, you're either successful in some capacity. You're either making the amount of money you want, you're very proficient at a certain skill set, you're established yourself, you've worked very, very hard to cultivate certain areas of your life. On the flip side, you might be a different person who maybe has not achieved that yet, but you have the ambition that you want to improve. You're trying to move in a certain direction. And that was very, very similar to how I was before working with Glenn. I was trying to read the books. I was trying to, attend the seminars, going to the seminars, taking the courses, taking the online courses. And it felt a lot like it just took an exhausting amount of effort to try to go in one direction. And I would achieve a little bit of results. You'd kind of work hard. You'd get a certain objective. You'd move close to it. But then ultimately, I would be pulled back into some self-destructive behavior, or into apathy, or into depression, or into, burnout. And it always kind of drove me very, very almost insane to think about, why am I doing this? Why can't I just be successful? Why can't I just be happy? Why is it so difficult to maintain this level of peace and inner stillness and inner fulfillment, inner happiness and approval? And when I work with Glenn, the thing that I realized is that so much of what we're taught is completely backwards, and it's coming from a point that is just not efficient. And I think that you guys are going to get an amazing kick out of what Glenn has to talk about today. And I think this is one of the most foundational, important things and important skill sets that you can get down, is mastering how to shift out of your head into your body so you can have that inner stillness, that inner peace, and the proactivity that comes along with it. So Glenn, if you want to dive into that.
Yeah, great. Good comment, Dante. Okay, so let's move into this. Now that we have the foundation, let's move it into what we're talking about. So every day we have roughly 30 to 50,000 thoughts going through our head. The thought process is, what about this? Or think about this. What about that? What about this? It's like a bingo ball, just thoughts coming out of here. Sometimes you have a thought on top of the thought on top of the thought. And it's almost like there's a generator in your head, just generating, pumping out the thoughts. You could sit here and close your eyes and the thoughts will be going, oh, well, what are we going to do today? Or where are we going to have lunch? Or what are we going to do tonight? Or, is the car working? Or maybe we better do the laundry. Or it's like a machine gun going off in your head. Now, where does that stuff come from? Where does the thinking process come from? Okay, that's a good question. Because let's face it, sometimes you're thinking thoughts that you don't want to think. you have thoughts coming up, images or impulses or suggestions that come up that you're like, whoa, what's that? So we want to make the thinking very clear. Okay, as we identify the thought process, we're going to again sort through the energies. Again, energy awareness training. So in the thought process, when we have a thought, is it high vibrational energy or low vibrational energy? Now, I'm not saying that you should be, oh, this one's high, this one's low, this one, no. You just be aware that there's a generator, let's call it a voice, let's call it a thought process, that is continually pumping out thoughts that you can even listen to. Isn't it interesting? It's like you turn on the radio and you listen to the content of the radio. Sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't. There's all kinds of content on that radio. You know, you can get music, you can get talk shows, you can get weather, you know, you can get foreign language broadcasts, etc. All kinds of stuff. It's the same thing in our heads. Now, as we grew up and we learned about life and we learned about navigating ourselves through school, through, you know, social relationships and the process of living, we automatically just take this thought process for granted. You know, if a thought comes up, hey, you know, we got to wash the car today. That car's getting dirty. You don't want people to see you have a dirty car. Yeah. Okay, that's good. And hey, you better balance that checkbook. You know, got to make sure that this. Yeah. So it's kind of like you got a suggester in your head. You know, and if you've ever seen those hypnotist shows, you know, where you are getting sleepy and the people, you know, people go into trance and the hypnotist says, okay, now you'll bark like a dog or you'll act like a chicken. You know, why do people do those things? Because there was a suggestion that went into that they accepted. Okay, that's how hypnotists work. They find people who are suggestible, and basically we're all suggestible at some point, but they find the people who are super suggestible and are able to put them in a place where they will accept any and all suggestions that come into their head, you know? And that's what makes it for an entertaining show. You know, you have a grown man, you know, who's in a suit and is dignified, and he goes up to the hypnotist show, and, you know, in 15 minutes, the guy's a rooster. It's absurd, but it's funny. But as interesting as that is, that's the same process that's going on in our head. We're constantly getting suggestions. We're constantly getting this thought process to try to direct our attention. Now, never thought about that before. There's a process in my head trying to get my attention, and it's trying to take me in a certain direction. All right. Now, the key thing is what direction is it trying to take you? And energy awareness training means to be aware of the energy or the energetic processes that are taking place, starting with the thought process, starting in your head. And the first thing to recognize is that there are thoughts going in your head, inside you, that are not yours, that are not sourced by who you want to be. What does that mean? Well, we all want to be happy, don't we? We all want to be positive. We all want to feel good about ourselves and want to feel good about our lives. Those are the thoughts that we welcome. So when we welcome, hey, call your mother and tell her you love her. You know, okay, yeah, it's a good thing. Hey, it's a beautiful day outside. Let's get out in the sunshine and walk in nature. That's a great thought. Yeah. Or hey, let's learn to run a marathon or get into super shape or get into the gym, etc. All those things they're positive, they're high vibrational, they make you feel good. Unfortunately, the other side is that there's the thought generator inside your head that's trying to attack you, either subtly or just flat out trying to attack you. And we notice this when, you know, sometimes if this ever happened, you get up in the morning, you know, and you're awake for a minute or two, and then the thoughts start going, oh my gosh, what if this happens? Oh my gosh, what if that happens? Oh my God. And it's like all of a sudden it's like a storm in your head, and all these thoughts that are coming up that make you feel bad, that make you feel, not good about yourself, not want to have you make you worry and frighten, and it tries to lure you into kind of imagine that this bad thing happens, or imagine that this thing happens, or it comes into your head and it says, you know what, you're just pathetic. You're not, they're better than you. You're not worthy of this relationship or this job, or, if people only knew how screwed up you are, man, they reject you. And it's almost like you got an attacker in your head, somebody whose job it is, to make you feel bad. And it's like, where's that coming from? What's that about? And the thing about it is, all of us think it's just us. I know that I did, when I had these thoughts, you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you're never going to be successful. Who are you kidding? Blah, 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 blah. It was like, how did somebody who talked to me this way, who would be my worst enemy, how'd that get into my head? Right? How does that work? I don't want to listen to that. So, but the thing about it is that you can't really fight thoughts with thoughts, because if you have a thought that says, you're not worthy, or you suck, and you say, no, I don't. Yes, you do. No, you don't. Yes, you do. No, you don't. So you ever seen people walking down the street, having conversations with themselves? Oh, no. You see it all, especially with the homeless people. Guys walking down the street going, and you go, who's that guy talking to? He's talking to the voices in his head. He's talking to the voices in his head that are attacking him and saying, no, I don't like this. And of course, if you do that too often, walking down the street, they're going to lock you up. But we all have that process going on inside of us. Now, I'm here to tell you that when you become energetically aware, you recognize, again, that there are energies that are here to help you, and there are energies here to hurt you. Does that sound strange? Okay. Well, I'm going to give you an example here. This is my greatest hits example of how the thoughts work. I'm from San Francisco. Many of you are. And I travel across the Golden Gate Bridge, my famous Golden Gate Bridge story. If you know it, just hang in there with me anyway. On the Golden Gate Bridge, at least when I was living there, you had traffic going to and fro. And the only thing that was blocking this traffic were these little cones. So there was accidents on the bridge all the time, right? We all knew that. In fact, there was a part of the bridge they used to call Blood Alley. And so I'm driving across the bridge one day, and I'm listening to that thought process in my head. I'm just driving my car. I had this cool car, and I'm driving across. It's a nice day. And the thoughts in my head are saying, oh, look at that beautiful view out there. Isn't it beautiful? I'm all, yeah. Kind of talking to yourself, right? The thoughts, is that a beautiful view? I'm like, yeah, it's a beautiful view. And then the thought goes, the car's running pretty good. Yeah, you just had that tune-up. That's great. I'm like, yeah, the car's going good. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And you're making good time. You're probably going to have a great time tonight. It's going to be great. Yeah, okay. I like that. And then the thought says, why don't you drive into the opposite traffic head on and see what happens? Go ahead. Just drive in the opposite direction and see what happens. And I'm like, what? What? Drive in the opposite lane? Are you crazy? That'd be suicide. What kind of thought in my head would tell me to do something that would hurt me or potentially, God forbid, kill me? That's not my thought. That's not what I would choose for myself, right? So if it's not what I would choose for myself, then that means that there's another force, another direction, another entity, whatever you want to call it, that's trying to plant thoughts into my head that want to hurt me. Whoa. And that was the beginning of an awakening, to recognize that we're dealing with, what are thoughts? Thoughts are invisible, but you can sure feel them. You can't see the thought, but you can see the results of the thought. And again, the thought is either high vibration energy, it wants to lift us up, or it's low vibration energy wants to take us down. So all of us every day, we have to deal with these energies. Now, what's unique about that is the energies that we want, we have to do something about it. In other words, if I want to connect to high vibrational energy and be happy, joyous, and free, I got to make a decision or do something to connect to that. But if I want to be in low vibration energy, if I want to suffer, and if I want to be down or depressed, what do I have to do? I don't have to do anything. I just listen to those thoughts in my head telling me I'm no good, I'm never going to make it, nobody likes me, like that. So this is the illustration of the process that's taking place inside you. Energy is constantly moving in one direction or the other. So to whatever direction that we move, we either move it ourselves or we allow it to take place is what's going to happen. So this is why, as human beings, we have to deal with so much negativity and strife internally, not just outside, but internally, because these energies are constantly interacting with us. And even though, for example, if I want to get into shape, okay, let's say I'm overweight and I want to get into shape, okay, and right now I'm out of shape. Well, what do I need to do to stay out of shape? Do I need to take any action? Nope. Don't have to do anything. Just don't do anything and you're out of shape, right? And eat whatever you want. You're not only out of shape, but you're overweight. You're not where you want to be. And that doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good not to be in shape. It doesn't feel good to be, overweight and know that I got weight to lose. I'm not at my best. That doesn't. But yet there's a force that wants to pull us in that direction that says, oh, don't work out today. Let's go eat some Fritos and ice cream and before we go to bed, and let's do these. So these are forces that are actually showing up as your behavior, as a suggestion. Remember, I told you the thoughts show up as suggestions. So much of the time, if we're not energetically aware, or at least thought aware, these energies whose job it is to pull us into chaos, confusion, suffering, negativity, etc., they approach us every day with suggestions. Hey, why don't you do this? Hey, why don't you do that? Hey, why don't you, let's eat a whole gallon of ice cream before we go to bed, man. It's going to feel so good. Okay. Or let's get drunk and forget all our problems. Okay. Well, those are temporary solutions to energetic problems. So when this force over here wants to pull us down, a lot of times what it'll do is it'll approach us with things that we don't want. It'll say, oh, isn't life terrible? You hear something in the news. If you want to see how the energies work, all you need to do is at least externally. See, the energies work externally and they work internally at the same time. So if you want to see how the energies work externally, just turn on the 11 o'clock news, and watch the latest war. I mean, yesterday, there were a couple of oil tankers collided in the Straits of Hormuz out in the Middle East. Today, people are talking about war. They're talking about, actually battles. And where did that come from? It's just, diseases pop up. Where did that come from? Fires come up. Where does that come from? It's the energetic, these are the energetic energies that are constantly taking form. So you have high vibration energy. Can you see how I can't see high vibration energy, but if you see a big smile on my face and I'm feeling good and I'm wishing you well, that's an example of high vibration energy. So there's a difference between the energies that you can't see and the energies that you can see. So the energies you can't see are the invisible, and like all things energetically, everything in the physical world comes from the non-physical. Everything that is visible comes from invisible. So I have a thought, and what happens is that thought's going to expand into a feeling. That feeling is going to expand into an emotion. The emotion is going to expand into a behavior, and the behavior is going to create a life or a lifestyle. because your current life right now is completely run by your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and behaviors. And that's good or bad. So if you like what you're doing, great. You created it. If you don't like what you're doing or how life's treating you, great. You created it. Why? Because we have a saying in energetic awareness training that says life doesn't come to you, it comes from you. So if I don't like what I see out here, what most people who aren't energetically aware are going, oh, life's doing it to me. I'm a victim. You know, my parents screwed me up, or this guy screwed, or I had a bad break here, or, you know, I got this problem, you know, whatever our story is, the story of why I'm not where I want to be, I'm not doing what I want to do and having what I want to. You got a great story. That's the story that we tell ourselves. But that story is just, it's an energetic entity. It's a thought form that started as a thought, started as an emotion, created a behavior, and then created a life. So we start with our thought processes. Now, the thought processes, as you can see, man, 30, 40, 50,000 thoughts a day coming at us. Now, remember what I said before. The energies are constantly interacting with us. And the low vibration energy, unfortunately, comes to visit us every day in our thoughts, in our feelings. So when we have a thought that says, you wake up and you hear a voice, you're no good, or you're not what you could be, you're just a disappointment. You know, you can hear these thoughts, and I'm here to tell you that these thoughts aren't you. And that's your first step of awakening and awareness, to recognize you got lots of thoughts going through their head, but at least half of them aren't sourced by your true nature, which is high vibrational energy. So when you get these attack thoughts, understand that the agenda of these thoughts is to pull you in a certain direction. Now, if you're not aware of how it works, I remember when I was going to a new school as a kid, and I'm in a new school, I don't know anybody. So here are the thoughts that go, nobody here likes you. You're the new kid. Nobody likes the new kid. You try to make friends, you're going to get beat up. You better stay to yourself and avoid people, and so you don't get hurt or beat up. I got that thought. And because I didn't know that thought was mine, yeah, that's what I better do. I better lay low and avoid people and stay by myself so I don't get beat up. Yeah. Well, if you're energetically aware, the first thing we go, is that a high vibration energy thought or a low vibration energy thought? Why is it important? It's simple. Because high vibration energy, happiness, joy, peace, love, abundance, blessings, all that good stuff creates more good stuff. The fear, the worry, the doubt, the isolation, the depression, all that creates more low vibration energy. So you're constantly creating energy and energy fields around you every day. You're creating one right now. You create one every day you wake up, and every day you leave the house and go out into the world. You're creating an energy frequency, and that frequency is created by the thoughts, the feelings, and the emotions that you allow inside yourself. Okay, pretty clear? Am I making sense here, Dante? Am I ringing the bell?
Big time. So to kind of wrap the end of the video, because I know you got to go coach some clients, what can people do if they find themselves in a state of low vibrational energy? If they find themselves in a state of like stuck in their head, they're not feeling good, anxious, how can they, just like a simple thing, to get them out of that?
Okay, so the last thing that I want to share with you guys is what to do about this. Okay, so first of all, the process and the teachings that I teach on my premium coaching clients, I work with one-on-one, especially for this, and you'd be amazed. I've had very successful people dealing with this same issue. You'd think they'd have it handled, but the first thing is to recognize that there's an energetic process that you're dealing with every day, and that part of that energetic process is your thinking. And if you recognize, wait a minute, take a step back and recognize you're not your thoughts. you have thoughts, but you're not your thoughts. So if I have a thought that said, hey, why don't I just jump off the bridge here, and just, hey, wait a minute. That's not who I am. I don't have to do that, because that thought isn't sourced by me. I'm going to tell you a story here that's really important. And this guy I knew, read about earlier in my work. And this was a young guy who had a high school sweetheart, and they were in love going through high school, and they talked about getting married, when they went to college, and, the first love together 5 years. They graduated high school, went to college, kept talking about their lives together. And about a year later, they went to different colleges, and the gal, his girlfriend, called him up, and she says, I think we should date other people. I think we should, break up for a little bit and see other people. And the guy says, what do you mean? What do you mean? Break up? Well, but we talked about being together forever, everlasting love. And she says, I know, but, I'm in a new school. I'm with new people. I just feel the need to, date other people. So she gently but firmly broke it off with him. And when that took place, what happens is that when you get into a vulnerable place, these low vibration energies, they attack, they multiply. Because if you're in a low vibration energy, what's that going to create more? More low vibration energy. And if you're not aware that you can control these thoughts, you can control these emotions, you can control what happens to you. If you're not aware of that, then you just listen. You're just listening to Mr. Negativity in your head, just letting you have it over and over and over again. So with the thoughts that said to him, you're never going to find love again. You're going to be messed up for life. You're going to feel this loneliness and this separation forever. Why not just end it? Why not just end your pain? And the guy says, I really don't want to, but I am in a lot of pain. So the thought processes kept pounding him over and over again, saying life's not worth living. She's never going to come back. You feel terrible. I mean, this guy's 19 or 20 having these thoughts. And that's why there's such a big mass epidemic of potential suicide attempts for teenagers, in the late teens and mid-teens,
or adults with like Chester Bennington of Lincoln Park. I mean, all these different people who like overdosed and killed themselves, hung themselves.
Just like that. So when this happens, and you have these thoughts that are trying to pull you, you have to recognize, wait a minute, that's not my thought. So what happened was this kid who was constantly getting pounded on by this low vibration energy, saying life's not worth living, man. Just end it, end the pain, kill yourself, man. She'll be sorry, And he thought that those thoughts were his thoughts. He thought, well, that's a thought in my head telling me I ought to end my life again. And he's like, I really don't want to. But that's this is an extreme example, but it's an example of how the low vibration energy wants to continually pull us down to create more anxiety, more stress, more worry, and ultimately it wants to take us down all the way. So, and end up ending the story, what he did was he went up to the Golden Gate Bridge and he stood on top of it and he goes, I really don't want to end my life, but the thoughts are telling me that I should do it. And the thoughts inside him said, do it, jump. He didn't recognize those weren't his thoughts. That was a foreign alien intelligence trying to get him to hurt himself. So what did he do? Because he didn't know any different, he jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge, fell hundreds of feet into the water. And when you hit that water from that high, it's like jumping onto a cement. And but miraculously, he survived. And he broke his neck, broke his back. I mean, it fished him out. He was in a hospital for a year, but he got out. And he lectures now. And one of the things that he said, the minute I jumped, and the minute I left the bridge, I realized I'd been had. I went, oh my gosh, what did I do? Why did I listen to those thoughts? I don't want to die. I want to live. I've been defrauded by my own thinking. Well, thank God he survived. And now he goes around and lectures, and especially to kids, and says, don't believe everything you think. Don't believe everything you think. So step number one in this is to recognize, to be the observer of your thoughts, to observe your thoughts and go, that's an interesting thought. And know that these entities can hack into your thought process and try to create its thoughts as your thoughts. You know, it's like ISIS, for example, trying to go, come to the Middle East and fight for ISIS, and see the world and have an adventurous time. What? What, are you kidding me? Hey, they're trying to entice you with adventure or intrigue, but it's negative. It's on the dark side. You don't want to do that. And we can offer those things every day: drugs, alcohol, anything that wants to pull us into a temporary feeling that brings on a whole lot of pain. So to answer your question, Dante, first thing is to observe your thoughts. And second is to understand that if you want to be able to get that voice out of your head, then it's important for you to move energy. Because just like alligators like to live in swamps, they like to live in the swamp because it's an environment that they feel safe in. It's an environment that they can operate in. Well, when your energy is closed down and not moving, that's the swamp for the alligator. So when people are in their head and thinking, if you talk to somebody who's depressed, they're thinking nonstop from morning, noon, and night. I'm thinking, what are you thinking about? I'm thinking about how bad my life is. I'm thinking about how I didn't get what I wanted. I'm thinking about, why is life so bad for me? Oh, okay. What energy is that? Those are low vibration energy thoughts. What's that low vibration energy thought going to create? Low vibration energy feelings, which create low vibration energy emotions, which create low vibration energy behaviors. That's why high vibration attracts more high and low vibration attracts more low. Now, so let me give you the first tip is to be aware that this is happening to you. Now, might not be something you can get, overnight. This is why I teach energy awareness training, because it's a training on how to see things in a new way, how to navigate your life with the ability to see another dimension, which is the energetic process, to be aware of how the energetic process go.
I mean, if you wanted to get in shape, you'd have to have a personal coach showing you and training you. And even if you just want to do it on your own, you would have to go to the gym on a daily, regularly basis to get yourself in shape, to practice the things that are going to build strength. You can't just go to the gym one time and be like, I got it, six pack, boom. You have to continually practice this. So you're 100% right.
That's right.
It's so important.
And recognize, anything that takes effort and takes commitment and takes drive or takes money, like, if you got a 10-inch gut, if you got 10 inches of blubber on your gut and you want a six pack, you're going to have to go through a process of activities over time to be able to create that result. That's why everything that we see that you have right here, right now, is the result of what you thought, what you felt, what your behavior was, and what you created in your life, good, bad, or ugly. So, if somebody's got a huge gut, they weren't born with that gut when they came out of their mother's womb, right? You develop that gut, whether consciously or unconsciously. Now, if you want to do something about it, you have to be in an energy direction where you're going to take activities and constantly eat better, exercise, and be in the process of high vibration energy to get that gut off. And then over time, I don't know what it takes, 3 months, 6 months, maybe even a year, you'll get the results that you need. So back to the thoughts here. Let me give you a tip because I'm going to wind this up here. I want to give you an important tool. Nothing changes until energy moves. If you learn that one thing from me, it'll change your life. Because how do you deal with negative? Remember I said, how do you deal with these negative thoughts? Well, if a thought that says, jump off the bridge and do yourself in. No, I don't want to do that. No, do it. No, I don't want to do it. You can't do it with thought. Thought, it's a stalemate. It's a Mexican standoff. Because one thought says go up, another thought says go down. Right? Another thought that says hurt yourself, another thought that says take care of yourself. So this is the process of becoming energetically aware. And over in the training, you learn how to identify and isolate those low vibration energy thoughts, release them, and expand the high vibration energy thoughts. So one last thing I want to give you is simply this. When you're in your head and your thoughts are bugging the heck out of you, change your focus. Because energy flows where attention goes. So as long as I'm in my head thinking, why am I going to, the low vibration energy is going to be in control. I teach all my students every day to declare, I've decided and I'm committed to taking back my energy now. Even have them clap their hands like that. Because either you're going to control your energy or the low vibration energy is going to control it for you. And if you don't control it, and if you don't actively participate in your ability to move higher in high vibrational energy, then you're going to move more and more into the low vibration energy. It's like getting in shape. If you I like to be in shape, but I'm eating these donuts and I'm going to keep doing. If you don't make a change, it's not just a mental thing. I'd like to be in shape. Well, okay. Well, nothing changes until energy moves. And how do you move the energy? Going out to work out, making a decision to eat better, hanging out with people who are high vibrational energy, taking some form of action to move the energy. And we can move the energies now. Let's move a little bit of energy right now. So just close your eyes for a second, you guys, and just be aware of any energies in your head trying to pull you into low vibration energy. Any energies, oh, this is great, but what are we going to have for lunch? Oh, this is great, but let's go to the movies. Anything that wants to get you out. Because remember, the low vibration energy doesn't want you to do anything about this, doesn't want you to change your life, doesn't want you to improve. So if it can distract you or disrupt you or cause you chaos, then it's got you in its power. So just be aware of any dissonant or any thought that doesn't feel good. And just notice that thought is primarily located in your head, at least your consciousness of that. But notice what happens if I have you shift your consciousness, shift your focus to the bottom part of your spine, your tailbone. Be aware of your tailbone. Be aware of the floor underneath your feet. Be aware of your lower body. And when you shift the focus from being in your head to being in your lower body, you open up your energy channels. You open up the meridians. So the energy isn't just stuck in here, it's moving out through your whole body. And energy's like water. If I pour a glass of water here and I leave it here for a month and I come back, what's it going to be? It's going to be dirty. There's going to be bugs in it, right? But if I keep the water flowing like in a waterfall or a river, that cleans the water because it's moving. So learn here today, you keep your energy moving because nothing changes until energy moves. So let's do this exercise, you guys. Close your eyes, feel the floor underneath your feet. Feel the bottom part of your spine and imagine that your nose is down at the bottom part of your spine. Just play with me for a minute. Imagine that your nose is down there because if you breathe from that place, it's going to open up more energy channels for you. Okay, let's take a couple of simple breaths. Breathe through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Why breath? Because breath moves energy. And if you're in the middle of a negative thought or a negative feeling, as you breathe, you're going to start moving the energy. So it's going to be like a garden hose. If there's a kink in the hose, there's no water going to come out of it, no matter how much pressure you put on it. unkink the hose, the energy flows. So let's do a couple of breaths here. Close your eyes. Feel the floor underneath your feet. Feel your butt in the chair. Feel your legs underneath your hands. Keep your spine straight. We're going to breathe in through the nose. We're going to exhale through the mouth. Real simple. But as you inhale through the nose, I want you to inhale all the way down to your feet. Okay, I want you to breathe like you've never breathed before. So you're gonna, this is what's called a full body breath. All right, so here we go. Breathing in through the nose. Here we go. Inhale. Big breath, big breath. Inhale all the way down to your feet. Big breath, big breath, big breath. Hold. Exhale loudly through the mouth. Get all the air out. Pause. Be still for a couple of seconds. Let's do it again. Imagine that your nose is down at the bottom part of your spine. Let's take a full body breath, breathing all the way down to the feet. Breathe low, not high. Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big breath. That's right. 6. Big breath. Hold. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's right. Now, imagine that your thought processes are down there in the middle of your body, what I call the center point. If you're down there, the energy is going to be flowing and you're going to be in a better state. So let's do another one of these. Tune into your center point at the bottom part of your spine. And let's just take a nice big breath through the nose. Breathe all the way down to the feet. Here we go. Inhale. Big breath, big breath, big breath, big breath. All the way down to the feet now. Hold. Exhale loudly through the mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. That's right. Pause for a minute. Just kind of be silent, just for a couple of seconds. That's right. Now, if the thoughts are still going, what's this? What's this breathing thing? What's this all about? Bah, 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 bah. You're still in your head. When you take your consciousness from here and move it down and you start the breath going, you'll notice that monkey mind, that inner critic starts to get less and less loud, get softer and softer. And if you do this, and I'll probably make a video on an extended version of this, you're going to achieve, and this is what we go for in energy awareness training, a quiet mind. When you're able to have a quiet mind, you're able to be at peace. And in the exercises that we teach and in the training, this is one of the great benefits of the training, which is every day you're able to clean out all that gobbledygook in your head and slow down, that what I call the emotional terrorist in your head going, you're no good, you suck. As you move your energy, that voice gets lower and softer and softer. And if you did those 10 good breaths, just the way I showed you, you're going to feel calmer. You're going to feel more at peace. And that's the goal of energy awareness training, to end all emotional suffering. That's our goal. Because if 90% of all suffering is mental, or it's that voice in your head, you quiet that voice, the suffering goes away. And second, you learn how to move through life in high vibrational energy, in this energy, so that you have the skills to deal with all the curveballs and the challenges and the upheavals that life throws us. Because if you're a human being walking on this planet, you're going to deal with adversity. You're going to deal with challenge. You're going to deal with loss. God forbid, you're going to lose. You're going to deal with it. It's part of, you deal with rejection. All of those things are part of life, but they don't have to define us. Some people allow those things to say, well, I got rejected, or I'm divorced, and that's the end of my life, or this happened. No. Energy awareness training promises, if you move through it and commit to it, you'll be able to reach what I call energetic and emotional freedom. And that's in your thoughts, in your emotions, in your behaviors, the ability to deal with whatever life throws at you and to be able to stay in a high vibrational, resourceful place. That's the promise. That's the reality that's available for all of us. So if you've been You know, if these thoughts, your thought process has been driving you crazy, if you don't know how to deal with that, you know, that inner critic, inner judge, inner terrorist in your head, and you're trying to soften your thought, trying to deal with these thoughts, troubling thoughts, reach out to us and investigate learning energy awareness training, because it'll help you dramatically. And I promise, just like, as hundreds of people around the world that I've worked with personally can attest to, you can take back control of your life and have a great, peaceful, happy, joyful life internally and externally. And the first step to do that is becoming energetically aware. Hope this has helped you. Dante, you want to take us out?
Beautiful. Yes. To kind of close out, energy awareness training is amazing if you want to just quiet the mind and achieve a level of happiness and fulfillment. But also, Glenn, real quick, if you want to touch on this, for entrepreneurs or musicians or people who have to deal with either a lot of stress management or something like lots of social pressure. I know in terms of like dating or even playing on stage, right? Like I play music as a hobby. When I'm on stage, it's so incredibly helpful to be in the body and not stuck in the head of like, are people judging me? Or because that affects your body's tension. If you're thinking these thoughts that are causing you to be anxious, stressed out, your body's going to tighten up. That's going to affect how you sound. It's going to affect how you feel. It's going to affect your energy projecting at people. In terms of business, you're going to be stressed out. You're not going to be as charismatic. It's going to be harder to close deals. Like, what would you say for like entrepreneurs, top performers, top athletes, top people in their craft? Why is this for them? What, like, specifically?
Well, that is a fantastic question. And I pretty much didn't address that. But I'll tell you what, I'm a performer too. And it's interesting when you have to perform, or if you have to go on stage, if you have to give a talk, you know, what's the number one thing people are scared to death in the whole world? You know what it is? The number one thing that people are scared to death in the country is public speaking. People are scared to death of it. You know why? Because when they get on that stage, that voice comes out that says, uh-oh, you're going to be in front of people. You better not make a mistake. What if you say the wrong thing? What if you screw up? They're going to laugh at you. You're going to make a fool of yourself. Just like what happened to you in third grade when your third grade teacher embarrassed you in front of all the kids. Oh, I can't deal with it. And what does that do? Thought creates feeling, creates emotion, creates behavior. And that's why people are so scared about that. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are a performer, whatever it is, if you're interested in top performance, if you're interested in being the best that you can be and taking your life to the absolute max and fulfilling your full potential, then it's essential for you, just like you put time in learning your craft, you have to put the time into learning how the mechanisms that control your craft work. And the thought processes in your head largely they control your life. Now, either they're in control and their agenda is stress, worry, anxiety, fear, doubt, constantly punishing you internally, or you made the ability to shift your energy into high vibrational energy, which is the ability to feel peace and calm no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what kind of adversity you're dealing with. So important. You take somebody like Vincent van Gogh for a minute. Here you have an absolute genius painter. But what was his biggest battle? His biggest battle was the internal dialogue that he was dealing with within himself. You know, here he was creating he had a great faith in God and in beauty and in nature. Loved it. You could see it in his work. And yet inside him, there was that voice that I'm telling you about that says, you're no good. You're never going to sell. Your paintings suck. Why don't you just off yourself? Right? This is what we talked about earlier. Van Gogh had it. And eventually that's what he did. Eventually the low vibration energy took over because there was no energy awareness training back then, you know, in form. And he said, well, my thoughts are telling me that I'm no good, that I suck, and that I'm, you know, life's not worth living. I guess they're right. You know, okay, here, you know, what am I going to do? I don't know how he did himself in, but he did himself in. You see, we're all wrestling with that every day. And this is one of the reasons why in my coaching practice, I deal with and have students who are top CEOs, sports performers, entertainers, people who are after the cutting edge, the leading edge. What is it that can take me to the next level of achievement, in my chosen profession or in my craft? And whatever you're studying, even if you're a world-class musician, world-class sports guy, world-class executive or entrepreneur, you still have to deal with this inner process. And there's no other method that I'm aware of out in the world that helps you deal with this process the way energy awareness training does, so that you can take all of this low vibration energy and completely extinguish it. That's what we show you how to do. Get rid of that voice, get rid of those dark emotions, get rid of those history, and move into an energy field of happiness, of creativity, of prosperity, of moving forward. These are the offers that we get every day, either consciously or unconsciously. And if you're unconscious, you can see how these energies have a power over you. We're saying in energy awareness training, hey, you want to move forward, you want to be top in what you're doing, learn energy training, because that's going to have you operate at your fullest potential. And isn't that what we all want? You all want to operate and live your life to its fullest potential. What would your life be like if this guy wasn't around? If there were no more negative thoughts, if there were no more judgment, if it felt good to be inside your body every day? I'm here to tell you, it would mean having a fabulous life, and that's what's available to you, and that's what we want to help you achieve.
Awesome, Glenn. Everybody, if you're new to Glenn and you are somebody who wants fulfillment, you want happiness, you want that negative voice to slowly die, then we put together a 5-hour intro course to tell you more. Obviously, we can't be here for like 10 hours straight giving content. We'd like to, but Glenn has to coach clients and I have to go post content for Glenn. But if you head to energyawareness.secrets.com, there is an extremely, extremely affordable price course, with 5 hours of content showing you and telling you more about how this works and giving you some practical exercises. Additionally, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a CEO, if you're somebody who is very, very skilled in a certain area of their life and wants to take it to the next level and wants to eliminate that voice, again, I would highly encourage you to work with Glenn personally. Where can they email you, Glenn, if they want to get one-on-one coaching?
Even though I'm fully booked right now, I expect to have some openings in the next week or two going into the next month. So I always encourage people to reach out. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. One-on-one coaching is the greatest way to move your life forward fast. If you want fast results, I mean, all the great guys who world champions, the swimmer, what's the swimmer's name?
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps, yeah. He is a coach. Coaching really moves you. So you can contact me for more information on that at energytitan@gmail.com. Energy Titan, 2 words, energytitan@gmail.com. We'd be happy to talk to you about this. And again, the website address is energyawareness.secrets.com. So 2 places you can go: energyawareness.secrets with an S.com, or you can email me at energytitan@gmail.com.
Boom. And I highly encourage you guys to do that. If this resonated, if you just want to know a little bit more, if you want to kind of step into the pool, wade into the pool a little bit further, go to energyawareness.secrets.com, pick up the course. It's 5 hours of content, guys. It's the price of like 3 Starbucks coffees. Do yourself a favor. Step in this world, okay? Anything else you try to move towards, self-development courses, you're not going to experience lasting success and lasting change. This is something that's going to give you lasting change and lasting success. If you do have money to spend, go get one-on-one coaching. I had a couple sessions with Glenn. I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking cigarettes. I have it for 9 years of my life that ruled me. And I tried on my own many, 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 many times. Mark Twain has that famous quote, yeah, I quit smoking 1,000 times. But it wasn't lasting. Working with Glenn, done. Done. It blew my mind. It's crazy. So if you want change immediately, email him at energytitan@gmail.com. If you want to learn a little bit more and kind of start down this path towards achieving inner peace and inner happiness, then go to energyawareness.secrets.com. Thank you so much, Glenn, for sharing your time and energy with all of us and giving me some content I can give people.
Last thing I want to mention to everybody, we all want change. We all want a better life, but nothing changes until energy moves. So we encourage you to move some energy. We'd love to help you. All right, Dante, thanks. Great being with you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.